Good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Kevin Donahue with the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. I'm going to provide an update today on the search and recovery efforts for Miss Naya Rivera. Daybreak this morning, our search and recovery effort began with a concerted effort with mutual aid from Ventura County Sheriff's Office, Search and Rescue Dive Team, Ventura County Fire Department, Coast Guard, the counties of Tulare, Los Angeles, and San Luis Obispo. Since we started this morning, we've increased our manpower to over 100 personnel that are on site actively searching. And the assets that we currently have in place looking for her include helicopters from both the Sheriff's Office and from the U.S. Coast Guard. We have about a half a dozen boats out on the water. We have some watercraft, personal watercraft out on the water, multiple dive teams. We're searching a northern half of the lake, which is a good sized area, hoping to find any clues or evidence of her disappearance. I want to talk a little bit about the investigative side of the missing person. We have recovered video evidence from the dock that shows Miss Rivera and her son being the only two people getting on board the boat. We've had no indication after talking to her son that Ms. Rivera made it to shore. So the focus of our search efforts are in the water at this time. That's all the updates that I have for you right now, unless there's any questions.
Were there life jackets on board?
There was one life jacket on board, and there was one life jacket on the 4-year-old boy.
Are you able to discuss much about what the boy told you about what happened?
No, the only thing I can really comment on is that he gave enough information to investigators to conclude that his mother never made it out of the water.
Has he boated out here before?
That I don't know. I do know that she's had experience boating out here on the lake before herself, but I don't know if her son had.
Do you believe that her son saw her go under and not come back up?
I don't know.
What are the complicating factors on a search like this? What's involved in it?
Well, in a lake, the visibility is not very good. So if you've ever watched underwater video and you've seen divers in the ocean, typically the visibility in the ocean water is much better. So in the lake, the visibility is terrible. In this particular lake, in that area, there's a lot of trees and plants and such that are under the water that can cause entanglements. Makes it unsafe for the divers, and it makes it a more complicated search.
What exactly does the video show?
So the video shows from the dock, and it shows the two of them departing on the boat. At least I have not seen the video, but what I'm told is it shows that they were able to conclude that they were the only two on the boat when the boat left the dock.
How deep is that part of the lake?
The search area where the boat was found is about 30 feet of water. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
Is there any visibility at all? Is it all by feel?
No, there's some visibility. I don't know to what extent. If I were to take a guess, just from my own experience in the lake, probably 15-foot visibility if I were to guess, but that's not, I haven't gotten a specific.
So how many divers do you have?
Well, we have 100 personnel. Of those, a large percentage of them are divers. The resources that we have here from Tulare County, Los Angeles County, San Luis Obispo County are all divers. But the manpower also includes the helicopter crew chiefs, the pilots, and the people that are organizing the search efforts here at the command post.
Have you spoken to his family?
We have, our investigators have been in contact with the family to keep them updated as we progress our search efforts.
Are they on scene, Sergeant?
I do not know if they're on scene or not.
Sergeant, how long does it take for the body to rise? If she drowned, how long does it take?
It depends. If the body is entangled in something beneath the water, it may never come back up. We don't know. So you really can't, I couldn't tell you.
Do you know if Ms. Rivera was a strong swimmer? Have you talked to her family about that?
I don't.
Do you know where they were swimming? Was swimming permitted? And was there a strong undercurrent in that area?
Swimming's permitted in the lake. There's really no strong undercurrents like you would have in the ocean. But sometimes the water can be very cold, and the hypothermic elements of being in cold water could affect some people, but I don't know that that's the case here.
What is the temperature of the water?
I don't know the exact temperature.
Would it be possible to speak to somebody who's been out there on the search at some point?
I think so. Just give me some time, and I could probably make arrangements for after this conference.
Great. Can you update us now that we're all here about the links to the video and to
So we've received permission to go ahead and release the 911 audio, release the CCTV footage from the dock, and we're going to try and release some additional video of what it's like searching in the water. That is currently being worked out. I hope at the conclusion of this press conference, we're going to put out a formal press release with links to those assets included.
Sergeant, what's the status of the search after today? You go till just tonight, tomorrow, the next day?
We're going to keep people here through the night. We're not going to leave the area. We're going to have people that can respond here tonight if something develops, we learn something. But people being in the water searching will suspend at dark. Air operations will suspend more than likely at dark. And then we will resume tomorrow at daybreak. So as I understand it, Ms. Rivera rented the boat sometime on or before 1 p.m. It was a 3-hour rental. She was supposed to bring the boat back at 4 p.m. At around 4:30, when she didn't return the boat, the concession workers that are responsible for renting the boat went out looking for her, and that's when they found the boat and placed the call to 911.
Was it windy yesterday like today?
Yes.
Would that been a factor?
Not really. Not so much. I mean, it does with the operation of the boats on the water. The wind pushes the boats, but not to where it's really hindered us in any significant way.
Was the motor running on the pontoon when it was found?
We don't know.
Was the boat anchored?
No.
Was it pushed to the shore where they're looking right now?
It wasn't pushed to the shore. It was found out on the water. But how long it had been unmanned or, without her operating it, we don't know.
So, I mean, where you're searching really could have no bearing on where she is, where the boat was found.
Well,
Traveled quite a bit to be right.
I don't think it would have traveled the whole distance of the lake, and so that's one of the things that complicates the search. Is we have to go with where the boat was found initially, and then work our way outward from there. And when you're talking about underwater and visibility that's really limited, it's a slow-going search process.
How long can you dive?
A diver can stay down at that depth for probably around 30 to 40 minutes. They're carrying excess gear. They're not like recreational divers. And with that load, they're expelling more oxygen.
Was she swimming in the thicket over there, or
I don't know how to describe where she was found in terms of if there was debris close to the surface or not. But that condition is common for that area of the lake where there's trees and roots and entanglements beneath the water.
Do you know how long she was in the water with her son?
No, we do not.
What her clothes found in the boat?
I'm-
Did Miss Rivera take off her clothes and change into a bathing costume? Is there evidence?
I don't know. If that's it, I'll conclude the press conference. Thank you. Our hearts and our prayers and thoughts go out to the Rivera family. This is a terrible tragedy for all of them, and we hope to bring closure for that family.
The son's okay?
Yes, as far as I know, as good as can be expected. He's with family.
How long have you been with
I'm sorry?
the sheriff's office a long time?
I've been with the sheriff's office for nearly 30 years.
Wondering, like, mass drownings there. Any pattern of how long it takes to recover the bodies? Is everyone different?
Not just this lake, but in other lakes where we've had drownings, it can be 2-3 days to a week. I don't know. Again, it goes back to if there's something if the body's entangled in some way, it may not come back up. You can't predict it.
Sergeant, is there any other record of accidents like this before?
Well, I think it's too early to say what happened here. We're still investigating. We're still trying to find out what happened. As we learn more, we can speak more to that. But it's not uncommon that we have boating accidents and people lose their lives. We had just.
Record for the last 5 years or something?
I don't think we've had a drowning here in the past year, but we have had drownings here for various circumstances. So.
So, just on the point of body possibly being stacked, how confident are you in your safety that you will get to it if it is stacked, or that complication means it could be a long, long time before that?
There's no way to really say. We're putting forth our best foot forward to try and locate her. We're using all the assets that are available to us. We're using technology like sonar. We have experts who have dove this lake that know it inside and out, where debris pockets might be. We're relying on their expertise to help us in that endeavor. So we're going to do everything that we can to find her. We're going to continue to search, and the search managers, those that are responsible for managing the overall search, they'll may get to a point in time where they've expelled every resource, they've searched every area, the probability of detection of finding someone in a particular area they've exhausted, and when we get to that point, that's when they would probably have to suspend the search. But we're not there yet, so we plan on to continue at this point.
Can you tell us where the stand on the boat? Where the stand exactly was?
I don't have that information. The only information about what was on the boat was her purse, her ID, the life vests, and that when the concessionaires got to the boat, it looked like her son was sleeping. And that's really all the information I have to give out in that regard.
I heard there was some food or something.
I don't know. She had been to this lake before. She's had experience boating on this lake before, but I don't know that he has. All right, thank you guys.